I have no problem when studios make movies just for the money. I mean, it's a business and it needs to make a profit. Not every movie needs to be some important art piece. But there's a fine line of not giving a fuck that you should not cross, because if you do it, it just becomes something extremely boring and tedious to watch that is impossible to emotionally connect with at all. And just like Rock's previous movies, Red One is exactly that. I mean, plot of the movie is kind of fine. You have Santa Claus, he gets kidnapped. Now Chris Evans and The Rock has to go and save him and save the Christmas. Simple and straightforward. Problem is that every character is so painfully bland. Chris Evans exactly acts like he acts in his interviews, and The Rock is, well, he's The Rock and there's nothing more to it. The Rock and Chris Evans have chemistry of a dry toast. The Rock is this Mr. Goody-Good who can do no wrong, and Chris Evans is supposed to be his opposite. He's a deadbeat father who neglects his responsibility and avoids his kids. And the dynamic between Chris Evans and his son definitely works a little bit better than him and The Rock, but it's not a high bar to clear. I will say towards the end there is the small sequence with Chris Evans and his son where Evans puts more effort into acting compared to rest of the movie, and that scene actually has little bit emotion to it. Lucy Liu is also one capable actress, but her role is so generic that entire time she's just acting a little bit aggressive and authoritarian with authority. She doesn't have anything interesting to do at all. Complete waste of potential. Even the small characters are like that. You have a TikTok guy who is very TikToky. You have white middle-aged ladies who are obsessed with essential oils. It's like some random executive's idea of how internet or people are. And that executive thought that, hey, we need to make a superhero movie, but superhero movies are not doing good, so we need to make a Santa Claus movie, which is basically a very cheap Marvel movie. And the Marvel obsession, you can see it all over the movie. Chris Evans' character, for a good chunk of time, does, oh, did that just happen? Oh my god, that was crazy. How can that happen? Oh, that was so stupid. Did that silly thing just happen? It constantly tries to acknowledge that, oh, something ridiculous happened, instead of letting the audience experience it. The movie has a gimmick as well, where things become from smaller to bigger, characters can go smaller or bigger, which is literally Ant-Man. And the movie also looks terrible. It's all dark and muddy and mushy. I mean, credit to VFX artists, even though the movie looks like shit, anytime there were any important special effects, they looked believable, they looked realistic. Most of the time, animations were also good. So kudos to VFX artists, they still did their job well. The action in this movie is also very forgettable. You have a chase here, you have a fist fight there, you have some more fist fight because we need to show that The Rock is The Rock and he's a very big, strong and muscular guy with a good heart. But at least during mediocre action and lame jokes, you are distracted to a certain extent. But when people sit down and just start talking and have a serious moment, you realize that, oh my god, it is so boring. Even before going into the movie, I knew that it had terrible reviews, but I thought, hey, at least J.K. Simmons is in the movie, so that will be nice. But nope. He has barely any screen time. Not only he, even the bear, who is right there, big ass bear on the poster, is barely in the movie. The bear is barely in the movie. But back to the point. So I thought, that at least the bear will do something. He will come and beat something up, do some crazy bear thing. No, he's a bro. He's literally just a buff gym dude, but in bear body. And that is the theme throughout the movie. The Rock is jacked, Santa Claus jacked, Snowman's show up, they have six-pack body. The Krampus is literally a frat guy living in a frat castle. And after a while it just gets like, what is the point of this? Why is everyone suddenly so jacked? It adds nothing to the movie. I mean, when they name dropped Krampus like some really big Marvel villain, I was excited because I love Krampus. He's such an interesting character, but he's turned into a joke in this movie. And talking of jokes, let's talk about villain. She is atrocious. She is this witch who has this absolutely ludicrous idea of punishing all the naughty kids. The actress trying to play the character does try to make it more interesting. She tries to play it a little bit over the top. problem is that her character now ends up clashing with the tone of the movie, which is overly serious, futuristic, and this technological look on the Santa Claus and Christmas stories. And during the entire movie, they try to hype up this Santa Claus like, oh, he's very fast and he actually goes to every kid's house to provide the gifts, and he has a special way of doing it because we need to prepare for it entire year. And when they show it, it is just like every other Santa Claus. He goes to the house, goes down the chimney, but the only difference is that he's a little bit faster, and that's it. So they jump cut through the entire sequence, and suddenly at the end all the gifts are delivered, which also felt very lazy. By the way, let's talk about Chris Evans' character, because in the movie there is a literal scene where The Rock tells Chris Evans that, hey, you are immortal, you are weak, you don't have any superpowers, so you are a liability. But then movie completely ignores it, because throughout the movie his character gets beaten up like brutally, up, down, left, right. He is destroyed, but for some reason he's always completely fine. He doesn't even have a small bruise or scratch on his body anywhere. Even during the ending sequence where he takes so much damage and he basically becomes Captain America for a while. And talking of ending, for a $250 million movie, it was lame. Spoilers, just in case, there is a very lame fight going on and suddenly everyone is losing. Krampus comes in, saves the day, and that's it. That's the end of the movie. And when the movie ends, you realize that there is not even a single scene in the entire movie that you will remember after watching it, and you'll go like, that was funny, that was nice. I mean, if it was $100 million something movie straight to streaming, I would be a lot more positive about it, but it's not. This movie desperately wants to become Marvel or DC, some really big budget blockbuster superhero movie, and then try to sell it as something Christmassy or Santa Clausy, which just makes everything much worse. The movie takes it way more seriously compared to how good it actually is. And if you wanted to make as much money as possible, you already sold your soul and made this AI-generated terrible script. Why would you release it 40 days before Christmas? It just does not make any sense. I mean, as I said, it's not the worst movie I have ever seen, but still I guess it's good enough for streaming. You can just put it on without thinking, not pay that much attention, and your kids might enjoy it. And that's the best I can say about this movie. So those are my thoughts on Red One. Thanks for watching the video, and in comments let me know which one is the worst Rock movie you have seen. So thank you for watching, goodbye, take care, and have some fun with fiction.